Setting up easiest options and preferences. To get to this settings, you click on the Tools menu and click on Options and Preferences. Most of the items on this screen are self-explanatory. A few of them you might click on it and then go to the appropriate screen to see what it actually does. For instance, we are now sorting by code and not description. I'm going to close this and show you what we mean here. If we go to item selection, you'll notice that we have these in code order or number order. When I go back to the preference and change that, if I get back there, go back to Tools, Preferences, and click a dot in the description and then close it and open the item selection back up, you'll see that now the selections are in alphabetical order, both divisions and the subdivisions underneath the divisions. In the same section over here, the checkmark Add New Bid Item at the end of the list is pretty self-explanatory. However, once you get used to the system, you may want to uncheck this so that you can have the items that are added to the bid go into a particular location without having to move them up or down to get them where you want them to be. You'll notice we have a check mark on the miscellaneous area next to Tag All Does Not Tag Header Records. I'm going to close this and show you what we mean. You'll see the blue are the header records, and if I turn on the toolbar, top menu bar rather, again, and I tag all, you'll notice that it does not tag the header lines. That's what that check mark controls. While we're here, we really recommend in the startup that you put a dot next to select a bid to open rather than the current bid or the last one you were working on. This is because occasionally, on rare occasions, the computer may lock up or power may go out, and if you are opening the last bid, it will try to open the bid, and if the file has got corrupted, you're between a rock and a hard place. So it's really best to keep this selection to select a bid to open in this area. We do have a workaround if this ever happens to you. Also note that the CAD drawing interface will be covered when you view the videos on integrating with on-screen takeoffs. Another thing is that the enter key moves down right here, which is check mark. This is kind of a handy feature if you're a keyboard user or if you're going down and entering quantities in the quantity row and you don't want to move to the right as it normally does when you hit the enter key. The last thing we'll spend some time with is this multiple pullback here, whether you close a window when you leave it or keep it open or ask for it to close. Many people prefer to use our item selection screen, which is unique to our system, for taking items off. However, there is another way that has a lot of benefits also, which relates to this particular feature. We're going to show you that now, and I'm going to put a dot in Keep Window Open and then change to this to explain how this works. For this part, I'm going to turn back on the top menu toolbar, and then we're going to open the Pricebook item list. When you're in the Pricebook item list, rather than clicking on the division, the subdivision, and the items you want, as in the item selection view, which I'll bring up here to navigate through, which, like I say, most people like to use this, but there is some benefits you'll see shortly about this method. I have moved the quantity column over here to the left, and you'll see why we have it here in a moment. But we'll hit the list button and go to an area we want to go to. For instance, if we want to go to concrete, and then in concrete we want to go to monolithic footings and slabs, and that navigates. So you can navigate, but go to the list button and jump around this screen. And if this is the item we want, we can click over here and put a tag in here. Or if we can put a quantity in here, and this is the unique thing. Let's put 50 in there. When you put 50 in there, it automatically puts a tag. So you can actually navigate to several areas, tagging them or putting quantities in them. And I'm just going to jump around here to tag a few more items, just so you can see what we're talking about here. And let's put a square footage of 500 in here. And now we're going to pull those back. But before we pull those back, we want to make sure that we have what we have here, and that's what we needed. So we're going to show tagged. And so this now is showing just those items we tagged. So you can massage them. And we're going to go ahead and pull them back by using the use button. That's going to bring them into our bid. And I'll minimize this so you can see they came in, and here they are at the bottom. We pulled those in. However, our window stayed open when we used the use button. When we click the use button, we'll replace those, and it stayed open here for us to continue going and clicking other ones. So to redisplay, we click on the all button. Now those items that have moved to the bid are no longer tagged, so we can continue on navigating to different areas and picking out different items, either putting a quantity in, 10 here, or just simply clicking the tag. And when we add them to the bid by hitting the use button, it will untag them once it's moved in, and it will put them into the bid, as you can see them at the bottom right here. So in essence, with the dot and keep window open, it simply keeps that window open rather than closing it and having you go back and open it again for going and adding more items to the estimate. Once again, most of the choices on here are self-explanatory. Hope this helps out.